We're here. We're on. Who's here too? I'm just hanging out. Hanging out. Oh. Okay. Who's gonna join? Welcome to theater class. Who's joining? Okay. Let me know you're here in the comments. Hopefully I can see them today. I don't know. Today we're working on projection and breath support. It's going to be a fun day. I hope you're excited because I'm super excited. Yeah. Let me know. We're going to wait for a couple more friends. Wait for a couple more friends. I don't know if you can see me. Okay. Who's here? Hi, friends. Okay, so I think we'll wait. I think we'll wait a little bit longer, but I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a great day. It's finally warm out. It's great. We can't be outside, but it's oh, what happened? We can't be outside, but you know, it's warm. So I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm doing this on my phone, which is the first time I've ever recorded it like that because my computer was being very silly. Oh, hey, hi guys. Hi, Juliet. So we're gonna wait a little bit longer. Keep sending in your videos. Keep sending in pictures. We got an email this morning. Hi, Erin and Zoe. We got an email this morning of some beautiful singing. So keep sending stuff in. We love seeing it. Today we're going to do some projection. Does everybody know what projection is? Projection is using your breath support to allow yourself to be louder, especially on stage. Hi, Isaac and Martha. So especially on stage, this is a helpful tool. So we're going to do a couple exercises today to talk about that. I hope you're excited. I'm excited to see you all. Yeah, so the first things we need to talk about is what is projection and what helps us accomplish projection. So projection, as I was saying before, is how we use our body as a tool to make ourselves louder on stage. Now, how do we do that without straining our voice? Very important question. I'm so glad you asked it. It's basically we need to be aware of our body's position, how much breath we're taking in, and the position of our chin and how our muscles are operating. So when we're projecting on stage, we want to make sure not to yell and not to point our chin in a specific way because you're going to cause strain on all these muscles, which is going to hurt your voice, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to go through a couple of things today to help you be more aware and help you with projection. So before we get started though, we need to do some fun tongue twisters and some fun warm-ups. We're going to start with sticking our tongue out, and you're going to point it down as though it was going to be south. So we're going to be north is up, south is down, east, west, right? So, well, east to me, west, but I think it might be reversed on this video. So we're going to stick our tongues out, and we're going to point up to our nose, to our chin, and to both sides. So we're going to go, Good. Now we can do that with our silly tongue twisters. So if we wanted to do it with Unique New York, it affects all of your sounds. So we're gonna go so it doesn't even sound like it, but it helps us with stretching and it helps us with our sounds. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to keep saying this over and over again. Ooey chewy toffee. Ooey chewy toffee. Ooey chewy toffee. We can do it 3 times. And every time you do it, I want to see you really feeling those words in your face. So I don't know if it's easier to see without the glasses. We'd go, ooey chewy toffee. Ooh. Do you see how much tension we have here in my neck when I do it? Ooh. So we don't want to have that much tension. We're going to just be using our lips and our muscles in our face. Ooey chewy toffee. Ooey chewy toffee. Ooey chewy toffee. Great. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch our neck side to side, up and down, and roll our shoulders, roll our shoulders. Woo! I'm in a silly mood, guys. I hope you are too. So roll your shoulders back and roll your shoulders forward, side to side, side to side. Look up and down, up and down, and right and left, right and left. Now, lastly, my favorite thing always is our tongue twisters. I couldn't think of the word. So I have new ones today I brought you guys. New ones we're going to be working on for the next couple weeks. So this one is about the weather because it's so nice out and I want to be outside. But so we're going to talk about the weather. So it goes, whether the weather is fine or whether the weather is not. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot. Okay, we're going to go back. So that's the first half. Now you're focusing when you're making these sounds in your face. We're going to hit all of our w sounds and our sounds. W and th. So whether the weather be warm or sorry, whether the weather be fine. So we're doing our w sounds. Whether the weather be fine or whether the weather be not, whether the weather is warm or whether the weather is hot. Good. We'll weather the weather wherever the weather, whether we like it or not is the end. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Good. So that tongue twister, you're focusing on a lot of different sounds in your face. So whether the weather, whether the weather be fine, fine, that's what we call a plosive, and we make sounds with our, yeah? What's another plosive we could use? Let's think about it. Cool. Duck, right? So we're going to use all of those plosives. Today with plosives and our different sounds, we're talking about how it allows us to project. Right? So if I was to say from all the way over in my kitchen or all the way, it's a small apartment, in my kitchen or in the corner, if it's hard to hear someone, sometimes hitting the plosives or the sounds, the repetitive sounds in your phrase will allow people to hear you better. So sometimes what we talk about in singing, I know Lawrence talked about it with you guys before, is making sure you're hitting the last part of the word. So in that last, right? When you're singing, it helps us hear the word better. I hope that's clear. So we're going to also work on our vowel sounds today because vowel sounds are really important with projection also. So what I want you guys to think about is in these next exercises, we're going to have 3 levels of volume. So we're going to have soft, medium, and loud. Right? Soft, medium, loud. So we're going to start from one to the other to the other. We're going to start with the vowel ah, ah, ah. So we're going to go ah. Now, my visual is showing you when my mouth is open. So hopefully my mouth is clearly differentiating the sound. So we start on a low ah. We come back down. So how do we do that? Great question. Thank you for asking it. We're going to take a really big breath. Right now I'm sitting in a chair. You can do it sitting or standing, but if you're sitting, you want to make sure that your shoulders are back and you're sitting up straight so that you get the most room possible when you take in a breath. And we're going to take in a breath and we're going to use our ah. So ah. Hi, Ava. Okay, now we're going to do it on E. So let's try yee. Oh. Ooh. I'm sure you all know this, but what this exercise is doing is we're doing a crescendo, meaning we're getting gradually louder, and then a decrescendo, gradually softer on our siren, right? Now, as I was saying, we have our 3 different types of volume, our soft, our medium, and our loud, or our quiet, medium, high, loud. You know what I'm saying. So I have a really fun exercise that we can do. You're going to, if you're with another person, so if it's Alice and Eloise, hi Alice and Eloise, if you're working together, one of you can go and then the other's going to tell you, yeah, I could hear that. Let's try that again, or not. If it's only one person, you can do it like me, and we're going to be standing in a corner. So we're going to stand in a corner. You're going to face your, I hope you can see this. You're going to face your chin towards the corner, and we're going to start with our fun. I think we're going to start with, let's try, Ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? Do we all know that? If not, we know it now. So the nursery rhyme goes, ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? So we're going to go, I hope you can see me. This is me facing the corner. So we're going to hit all of our B's, all of our CK sounds, our sh sound for sheep, and our V in have. So ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? So you're going to hit the L on wool also. So when we sing this, or when we speak it, you can do either one, whichever you prefer. But while we're doing this, you want to make sure if you're in the corner, you're hearing all the words come back to you. And if you're doing this with a partner, your partner's going to be about a yard or 2 away from you, and you're going to make sure you take a big breath. Ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? You don't want to go too fast. If you go too fast, we're going to hear all the words run together, and we're not going to be able to understand what you're saying. So we're going to take a big breath. We're going to stand up straight, and we're going to say, ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? Good. Now, we can also try this with, I really like to do it with this. Boom, chicka boom, chick, chicka boom, chicka boom, chick, chick. So, boom, chicka boom, chick, chick, chicka boom, chick, chick. You're probably going to need 2 breaths on that. So I would do the first breath. Remember, we're going to have our hand on our belly. If you have a second hand, because I don't right now because I'm holding this, you would place it on your chest. And you're going to make sure you take a big breath and you go, boom, chicka boom, chick, chick, chicka boom, chick, chick. Great. So what does that show us? How can we keep practicing it? You would go, if you're in pairs, you're going to go one person, then the other person, and you're going to start low. And then we're going to go back to the first person, medium, using a little bit more volume, and then high. So boom, chicka boom, chick, chicka boom, chick, chick. How do I make my volume low, medium, high? Really great question. I'm so glad you asked it. So a way that we would make our volume increase is either we're going to take a larger breath, and we're going to use all of that diaphragmatic breathing, right? We talked about this in singing. Diaphragmatic breathing. Big breath. Drop your diaphragm. And then you're going to use all of that to help you with your sound. It should be coming all the way out here. If your shoulders are back and your chin is in the proper place, this is going to help you create a larger amount of sound. You're going to have more space. You should feel it when you do it. Boom, chicka boom, chick, chick. It should be resonating in our chest and moving up from our chest through our mouths, right? So you're going to feel a buzzing here, you're going to feel a buzzing in your chest, and you're going to feel the breath down in your stomach. Okay? Now, I hope you all can see this. I'm not sure if you can, but when I do this, so I would be going, boom, chicka boom, chick, chicka boom, chick, chick. Again, we're not yelling. It's just allowing us to create more sound in our speaking, right? Now, how do you know you're breathing right? You can either be sitting in a chair and feel it, or you can lay on your back. I like to lay on my back sometimes because it helps me feel everything. So I hope you all can see this. So I'm on my back, and you're gonna do the same thing that we were doing before in our corner exercise. You're gonna have one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And what I want you to notice when you're on your back, when you're breathing, and we take that big breath, you're gonna feel something shift in your stomach, and you're gonna see your rib cage expand out. So it's gonna move out. If you're doing this with two people, so if you have a brother or a sister that can help you, your brother or your sister can put their hands on your ribs when you're breathing. And you should feel this all the way into your back, like your whole lower half of your body, your stomach, your ribs, your sides, and your back. When you breathe with your lungs and your diaphragm shifts, everything is expanding at the same time. So we're gonna go. And we're gonna do that 4 times. Then you're gonna add a consonant of your choosing. So you can do a t, 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 or a p, 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 p. And we're gonna do short staccato breaths. And you're gonna see how those short staccato breaths are different than your big breath altogether. It's gonna allow you, one, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear the difference, right, with the rhythms. So the rhythms are different. So we have our legato breath, and we have our staccato breaths, our p, 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 p. And now, when you do those short breaths, you should be feeling your diaphragm moving up and down every time. So p, 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 p. Your stomach should be moving, your diaphragm should be moving. So p, 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 p. I hope you can see that. I'm not sure. Now, from there, we would go soft, so p, 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 medium, p, 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 and loud. P, 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 p. If you want to do a whole word, let's do Peter Piper, right? So we know Peter Piper picked. Let's do that one. Peter Piper picked a Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So that was low. Now let's do medium. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. And then loud. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Very good. So we're going to go low, medium, high. Now you never, again, like I was saying before, you don't want to feel tension in our neck. If you're feeling tension, we're pushing. And we don't want to push the breath. We want to use it. So Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. It's still loud without pushing. Okay? If it ever feels like we're pushing, let's back off a little. We shouldn't be doing that. Okay? Now, we did our facing the wall exercise. We did our laying down on the ground exercise. Parents, if you want to film this, this would be great because I can either help with corrections or just see that you guys are doing this and being silly. A really fun way to do this with two people is to tell a story, right? So again, Aaron and Zoe or Isaac and Martha or any of my siblings that are watching this all together, you each are going to together pick a story. It can be the 3 bears, it can be whatever it is you want, but you're going to start the story. And the person is going to be halfway away from you in the room. And you're going to tell the story softly. Then the person's going to take 3 steps back and you're going to tell the story on medium. And then they're going to be on all the way the opposite side of the room, and they're going to have to use their voice and use their breath to tell the story so that you can hear every single word. If you don't hear every single word, then we probably need to work on our volume on that level, right? So if I say it low, I don't want to be whispering because my friend isn't going to be able to hear what I'm saying. So even if we're on low, we need to use our projection, use our consonants, so the beginning and ends of our words, right? And we need to speak slowly enough so that they could hear you. So if I was telling the story if I was starting a story and I was standing here and someone was standing across the room to me and I would say, once upon a time, we're going to hit once upon a time. So our M's, our T's, our N's, our C's, right? So you're going to stand against the wall. You want to make sure your back is as close to the wall as it could be so that it can help you with feeling your breath. And you're going to take your big diaphragmatic breath with everything moving down and expanding all at the same time, all the way back into your back, right? And we're going to do it on our small. So once upon a time. Then they're going to step back. Once upon a time. And then they're going to step back even farther. Can you see me? Yeah, okay. And then we're going to go. Once upon a time. Now, notice, as you're getting louder and louder, you might have to speak a little bit differently to make sure that all of the words are heard. So, I always want to stress you don't want to be speaking too quickly or facing down in the ground, because then all of your sound and all the work you're doing is going into the ground and not into the audience. So you want to make sure when you're facing your friend to tell them the story, or your brother or your sister, I hope you're also friends, but if that's what you're doing, you want to make sure your body position is the way it needs to be, with our chin down, our shoulders back, and standing up straight. And then you're going to face the person and you're going to say the lines directly towards the person or over their head if that's a little easier for you to focus on. So I hope that's helpful. Parents, please, please, please record your students telling stories. I love it. So what were the 4 things we went over today? Volume, consonants, the speed with which we tell a story or the speed with which we talk, and proper breath technique. So, to sum everything up, you want to make sure you're hitting all of your words, all of your important words, and all of the consonants clearly so we can hear you. You want to make sure you're standing how you need to stand so we can hear you. You want to make sure you're taking a big enough breath to support what you're saying. If you need extra breaths, you can. Don't rush it all in one breath, so take multiple breaths, but make sure we're taking our low, expansive breath. So we're expanding all the way out. And then lastly, did I hit them all? Volume. Oh yeah, what are our 3 volumes? Soft, medium, and loud. You never should feel pressure when you're getting loud. If you're feeling pressure, make sure you double check that you're taking a low enough breath or that you're standing up in the proper way. Okay? Oh, I had so much fun. I hope that was fun for you. Please tell the stories. I can't tell a story to you because you're not all here right now, but tell a story. Parents, record your students telling the stories, and feel free if you have any questions to drop them in the comments. I just had a lovely chat with Alice, so hi Alice. So I love hearing from you and answering any questions that I can, okay? We are going to, next week, we're going to probably do either writing a monologue or writing a CV if you're going to go on an audition. And in a couple weeks, we're going to do acting the song, so get excited. I might try to pair up with Lauren and have us be both on at the same time. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, if you need more fun tongue twisters, we learned our weather. We have our unique New York. We have Peter Piper, okay? If you have monologues and you don't have a person working with you, a really good way to use this exercise for a monologue is to speak into the wall and either have a parent tell you if they can hear you or understand you, and you can work on the different volume levels at that point too, okay? I had a really fun time talking to you guys. Make sure you use the breathing technique on the floor to make sure you have the proper breathing, and I'll see you really soon, okay? Bye, guys.